got another bathroom to do. Well, in fact, we've got two. So we've got the ensuite here, and also the main bathroom that side. Now, we haven't took anything out of here. Originally, there was like one of these like shower pod things that was in this corner. So the layout was kind of go back to how the original house was built. So this toilet here is going to go back into that corner. The sink is pretty much staying where it is, I believe. So for me and Kian, we've got to strip the rest of this out, get the tiles up, make the room all back to just basically back to the plasterboard, radiator off, tiling everywhere because it's all dated and we're all smashing that back out. So let's jump into the main bathroom and go through that one. So the main bathroom is tiled all the way out except for that tiny bit there. So we're going to strip all this room out. I think this is the original suite for the actual house, I believe. So we're going to take all these out. It used to have a shower on this wall as well, so we're going to have to sort of have a look at all this arrangement. It is tight, I believe. Yeah, so I've got 1660 is my overall length on here, and I believe the clients have got a 1700 bath that we have got to shoehorn in, which I'm sure it'll be fine. We can make that work, I'm sure of it. In fact, I'll make it work. Downlight's already been replaced in here and in there because we've been here previously to do a load of electrical stuff as well, so they were not safe before, so we've sorted those out. So the stack is in this corner. Everything leads back for all the waste to here anyway. So one of the most important things to find out as well when you're doing any plumbing work whatsoever is where the main stop tap is. Now in this house it's underneath the kitchen sink, so we're all good on that. And then failing that, because quite often that they don't work, you need to find out where it is in the street, because if that doesn't work and you have an issue, you've got to make sure you know where that is pretty quick. So in here, when they've built this, they haven't had any, they haven't put any isolators on. So for us, we have got to drain down the system anyway, so there's no quick isolators to whip everything off. Part of the job, every sort of sink, toilet has to have an isolator on it for us, so we'll just get on with that. So what we'll do, we'll get cracking. I think we'll just strip out the rest of the ensuite first, get that all tidied away, and yeah, actually get on with some work rather than me waffling. So see you in a bit. So me and Kian is behind you, yeah, Kian's just there, this room, we've stripped out that, but we had a massive punami. There's no other way of describing it. It was absolutely rank, and I just lost all the ability to just focus on filming because no one needs to see that. It's minging. So when we lifted the toilet up, there was just feast. There's literally no other way of putting it. There's just feast, just going backwards. And then when we got back to this stupid flexi bit here, it was just a lump like this with, like, I'm not sure whether they're wipes or either way, it was minging. So we've stripped this out for now to where we are, but we are going to take the floor out. But we wanted to get all the water and stuff like that capped off. So we'll jump back into the other room and show you where we're at with that. So shout out to the customers as well for supplying the old OT biscuits. I mean, come on. Absolute legends, and tea. So Kian's on a no tea thing at the minute. I don't know why, there's something wrong with him. So we're trying to corrupt him, well, I'm trying to corrupt him quickly. So I've had to make a few phone calls, and in fairness, Kian's just been absolutely on. Shouldn't have, I'll be bleeping that out. So Kian's been cracking on and stripping all the tiles off. We've got all of the sink and the toilet. Now I did the toilet slightly differently on this one because I wasn't aware on how bad that was going to be. So we've got the wet vac, and we actually wet vac. I always wet vac out the cisterns anyway, but this time I actually wet vac out the pan. Made a massive difference, and also I knew I'm not going to have a massive poo issue anyway. I don't know how else to put it in there. But the way that they've done that on the other side for the waste coming in, they have knackered up the stack. So I'm gonna have to open up this boxing in and probably just have a little investigation and a bit of a play around with that, which is fine. So I'm gonna give you a little top tip about draining radiators. If you've got a radiator on, but you don't want to drain down the entire system. So if you get a rubble sack, but a decent quality rubble sack, obviously shut your valves off, put your rubble sack underneath, tie it in as you've got, imagine your radiator here, and then let it go. Okay, so the rubble sack will hold the water. Now, obviously, do check it for holes first. but so far I've never had a problem with it at all. It's always been absolutely spot on, especially when you've got your bath still intact, or your toilet, which I did at the time. We can just pour that straight into there and get going. So another tip, because obviously it will smell in here, so if we left this stack exposed tonight, every time the customer goes downstairs and flushes the toilet, you'll get a waft of you know what. So if you just bag that up, just put a bag over there, tape it up, it will make a massive difference. But we're getting there, we are getting there. So once we get all the wall tiles off, we'll then obviously crack on with the floor and see how they come up. But it's very noisy. I'm going to put the old safety specs on, because to be honest with you, I completely forgot where mine were, and the last time I actually used them, they were scratched to high hell, and Kian pointed it out to me and says, come on, we need to sort our lives out, and that's what we're doing. So anyway, got to get on. Right, so as you can see, Kian's done a wonderful job getting those off. So one of the things you've got to be mindful of is, as you're doing it, is the pipes here. Tiles dropping straight onto the pipes. If you don't protect them, then there's a high chance you basically burst in the pipe. So that wouldn't be great, would it? All the tiles are off, so except for obviously with the floor. So now the best thing to do is get a big clear up, clear all this stuff up that's now on the floor, which you can now imagine is quite a lot. So we can get all of that all cleared up. The bath, so I always leave the bath in, because one that's obviously tiled down. Some people might want to chase off the bottom row to get it out. We don't. I like to just fill the bath, use it as a bin. So we'll empty all that out. Lots of trips up and down the stairs. So as you can tell, I'm not one of them bosses that will just turn around and go, oh, you can do all that. I will do that myself, because I think that's really stupid if you're not going to lead by example. So the walls, will probably end up scraping a lot of these walls. Some of them aren't, they're not too crazy. Maybe, you know, a bit of board adhesive in certain places. But yeah, not too bad. So anyway, big clear up now. As you can see, we're now onto a really rubbish bit of the job, where we are trying to take off the big high spots of the adhesive that's been left when the tiles have come off. Now, sometimes you can be lucky and it can come off really well. Kian, how's this one working out?
It's not very well. It's stuck.
It's horrific, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and the only good thing is that the customer keeps supplying me with tea, which is fantastic, thank you. And also, we've had some chocky hobnobs, haven't we, Kian?
We have.
I mean, the peak physical conditions that we are in, I mean, we had half of one between us. So, I'll put a shout out on Instagram whether there is any other tool to make this easier. Turns out there is. So, I've been sent a link for said tool that goes in your STS, and one of those will be purchased, because I hate this. I'd rather shove forks in my eyes than spend my life doing this.
Think how quick that would be.
Right, done. Right, that floor has been an absolute pig to get up, and I think they've used, so this adhesive correct me if I'm wrong, but this adhesive is like the super flex. It's got like actually like rubberized almost, and it sticks like anything. It's never normally that hard to get off, in fairness. So this has been a bit of a challenge getting this out. We've got to bring out the big guns in the big chaser to get that off. So there's just this patch here to take care of for the scrapings. Now, what we might do with this wall that's actually like recessed slightly, we might actually knock that out and push that a little bit further into the ensuite, the other side, which won't affect anything really in there. But that will mean that the 1700 bath will go in comfortably. We haven't got to then worry about, you know, for the future and stuff for the clients. It just standardises everything. So my gap between here and this little recess is 710. Okay, so the bath is 700 wide, so that's fine. But this bath itself is actually quite a small bath, quite a narrow bath. It's like a 680 wide bath. That's where we're at right now. So we're just going a bit of a square up now. I think Kian, I'll tell you, I'll take you around to Kian because he's been getting on in there. Kian's got the tiles off this side, and he's having loads of fun again with the adhesive scraping. How's that? Is that the same as that side?
Well, yeah. It's not as stiff as that wall there. Yeah. But it's still quite hard to get off.
Yeah.
In some places are alright.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a game, as you can see. So flooring as well. So flooring's going to be the same deal as that one in there. So see how that you can chase it off. It does come up. It's just really doesn't want to come up. Now this is where the sink was. So as I said before, it's not going to hinder us too much, I don't think, if we can bring that forward slightly. But I will be opening this because this is, if you can see, I don't know whether you'll be able to see, but there's all fixings there. So we're going to open that up and see what's what behind there, because I think there's some hidden bits and bobs. And obviously the clients are spending a lot of money and they don't want any problems for the future. Yeah, so on that note, we're going to leave you to it. We've only got some cleaning up really to do left, and hope you enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you hit the subscribe button in the corner down here, smash that for me, and we shall see you on the next one. Thank you very much. See you later.